Caste, a social phenomenon that has largely dictated the organization of community life in the Indian subcontinent for millennia. Although not necessarily unique to our part of the world, the depth, influence, and complexity of the caste system in India certainly makes it distinctive. Over the last 200 years or so, an understanding among the educated and cultured sections of our society has developed that the caste system is outdated and its exploitative and anti meritocratic tendencies can no longer be allowed to go unchecked if India is to overcome its backwardness and reach its true potential. Yet, instead of what is preached about removing caste from the consciousness of our people, caste has been made an integral part of the formulae of state resistance and redistribution. Jobs, promotions, seats in colleges, scholarships, age relaxations. Caste is an ever present deciding factor in how all of these are distributed by the Indian state. What's more, from the very beginning, the scope and extent of caste based reservations has only expanded and never been reduced. Quotas, which were supposed to only last for 10 years, have been extended indefinitely. A system that initially was meant only for scheduled castes and scheduled tribes now covers essentially all castes and communities in one way or another. The Supreme Court restriction on limiting reservations to 50% of vacancies has been violated time and again by different states, with the apex court always being too timid to enforce its own judgments and turning a blind eye to the ever growing problem. In states like Madhya Pradesh, where total reservations have now risen to 73%, it is becoming next to impossible for a person belonging to a forward caste community to secure public employment, especially in one of the much sought after Class 1 positions. When such huge chunks of our government machinery and public sector enterprise employees are selected not on the basis of open merit but on the basis of their surnames, is it any wonder that our government departments are cesspools of mediocrity and lethargy? Is it any wonder that our PSUs are constantly facing losses and have to routinely be bailed out by taxpayer money? Is it any wonder that we lose hundreds of thousands of our brightest minds to the West each year? What's more, not a single major political party is willing to raise its voice against this circus. Ramdas Atavale, a minister in the Modi government, has previously even opined that caste-based reservations should be extended to the private sector. The tragedy is that such ludicrous suggestions are not the exception but the norm in Indian politics, with parties ranging from the JDU, PMK, RJD, and the Congress all backing the idea of introducing reservations in the private sector at various points in time. And there is no guarantee that such a counterproductive and destructive policy will not be implemented at some point in the future, given the preponderance of vote bank politics over principled politics in India. The fact is that forward castes were only 18% of the population in 2011, and with their low birth rates and high emigration rates, are likely to have further shrunk as a percentage of the population and will continue to do so, making them an increasingly irrelevant factor in India's electoral politics. It is quite plausible that India's left liberal syndicate, always happy to cut, copy, paste the latest ideas from the loony left in the West, will at some point try to push the idea of reparations to backward castes and asset seizures of the forward castes. Their madness will not cease until they've pushed India into a Zimbabwe or Venezuela type of dystopian end. On that grim note, we'll wrap this video up. If you would like to watch more interesting and thought-provoking content on this channel, please do consider pressing the subscribe button.